21 Pilots released their second album, Regional at Best, in July 2011. This album was later discontinued for a number of reasons, but even though this album is no longer widely available, it is still important as it bridges the transition between their self-titled debut and their breakthrough album, Vessel. In this video, I'll break down the album's story and key lessons that you can apply to your own life. If you haven't listened to it yet, I recommend doing so for a fuller understanding. All of the songs are available on YouTube. I'll be referencing genius.com and adding my own perspective. Note that this video discusses sensitive topics around mental health, and since 6 of the songs on this album were eventually re-recorded for their next album, I will cover those songs in my album analysis for Vessel, and not in this video. The album cover shows a Little League baseball team in the middle of a big game, with the color of their jerseys matching the logo. The scene also connects to the title, Regional at Best, with the saying being a common way to express the limits of a sports team and believing that they're not good enough to go all the way. Slowtown is a nostalgic track that reflects on the simplicity of childhood and the desire to escape the pressures of adulthood. The whimsical and melancholic tone matches a deeper longing for peace and simplicity. This song tackles the lead singer of the band, Tyler Joseph's discomfort with the constant march of time, with society coping with the stresses of adulthood through a steady routine, which ultimately bores Tyler, causing him to want to revert to his youth, a time without strict routine. Adulthood, even being a teenager, is stressful on a normal day. Whenever we do have time to sit back and relax, we should do something that we used to love to do as a kid. Whether that's playing video or board games, or doing arts and crafts, or even finding a way to use your imagination. It will bring you back to those times of simplicity and make you feel that kind of content again. Forest is the only song from this album that the band still performs live to this day. It is a more playful and quirky track with introspective lyrics. It discusses conquering inner demons through music and community, using connection to search for meaning in life. It can be a positive means of escape rather than unhealthy ones that many of us do. The world can seem oversaturated much of the time and difficult to navigate when we're so prone to self-sabotage. When we're with the people that we love, our problems don't seem as bad, even if just for a short while. Sharing special activities or traditions with your group of people gives you something to hold out for, because we all need a little hope in our lives. Glowing Eyes is an upbeat track that contrasts its bouncy sound with lyrics that discuss existential dread. The song explores topics such as sociology, depression, apathy, and the alluring pull that the idea of death can have on an individual. The glowing eyes represent a form of negativity of which Tyler is reluctant to let go of. This wish for the preservation of those things that cause our sadness may seem strange, but is actually rather common among the mentally ill. I have experienced a bit of this myself because oftentimes it's easier to feed those destructive thoughts than to fight against them. For some people, it's almost like a form of protection, even though it's ultimately what they need protection from. So when you find yourself stuck between something that will benefit your mental health and something that will harm it, always choose what will give you the advantage and assistance that you truly need. Kitchen Sink is commonly considered the band's most important song, and is also one of the couple of songs from the band ever to have a featuring artist, with Tyler's brother, Jocef. This song tells us about how we can find purpose and create personal meaning in a meaningless world. Not everything means the same to everyone. Some things are more special to certain people and hold a certain meaning. That is what a kitchen sink is to Tyler, and with only him knowing what that means, that gives him motivation to continue on. He is the only person who can explain what it means to him, why it's so special. Same thing can be said for the meaning behind the band's logo. It represents something only he understands. It was how he managed to find purpose when he was questioning his life. Creating something that is special to you, like Tyler did, is a helpful method to find a way to keep going through times of difficulty. If you take that and make a positive contribution to the world with your work, then it will be much easier for you to find meaning in your life. Anathema is an interesting switch up from the rest of the album. Anathema means something that is cursed or despised by someone. Throughout the song, Tyler broods over the human condition and realizes that we are naturally inclined to want what is considered to be evil. The song starts slow and minimal, but as it progresses, it gains momentum and energy until reaching its climax in the third verse. This gradual change of pace represents the ever-changing state of the mind going through adversity. Change is really the only constant in life, especially with how our perceptions can shift in a split second. One moment we want something good, and the next we want something bad. Even as our emotional state continues to change, we need to make sure that we're choosing what's good and healthy for us to believe. Lovely is a relatively simple and upbeat track that focuses on a loved one needing to find self-acceptance. Tyler encourages the special person in his life to persevere through her feelings of inadequacy. She has low self-esteem and doesn't feel comfortable speaking for herself, but he already knows her so well that he knows what's going on in her head. Even as they're both going through times that feel detrimental, he is willing to stick by her side and treat her well in hopes to convince her of her worth. Accepting ourselves can be tough, even when we're in healthy and loving relationships. Having our partner be that rock to lean on when the waves are crashing, to have them there when we need them most, that can be enough to push on through the challenges. My girlfriend and I are exactly this for each other. Ruby is a heartfelt ballad that tells the story of a girl that went to Tyler's church at the time. She had Down syndrome and she inspired Tyler. He views Ruby as an angel, pure and righteous. He knows that she holds the answers to the world's problems, which isn't even completely understood by himself. The lyrics are tender and empathetic, and he believes that people with good hearts like Ruby can truly make a difference in the world. Surrounding yourself with people who have pure intentions for you and other people is so important. After all, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time around, so make sure your inner circle is filled with people you care about, who also care about you, and who make your life more enjoyable. Be Concerned is one of the other songs ever from the band to have a featured artist. Jocef, a friend of Tyler's from a fellow Ohio band, provides some of the vocals for this song. It deals with doubt, anxiety, and the search for faith and stability in times of uncertainty. It appears to document a hard time Tyler went through, but eventually overcame, as Tyler's faith still illuminates in his more recent songs that the band has released. Whatever you choose to put your faith in, that is what is meant to get you through the darkness. It's not something you only believe in when life is good and then abandon when it gets too hard to handle. When you have those beliefs and that mindset to fall back on, it actually helps you get through to the other side in one piece. Clear is a song that stays true to its title and throws ambiguity out the window, which contrasts the band's general nature. Religious allusions become painfully obvious references, and Tyler boldly proclaims his salvation. It offers a contemplative ending with lyrics that touch on themes of clarity and resolution. It's an experimental piece that leaves the listener with a sense of open-ended reflection. Our mental limits can feel impossible to overcome. We often get to a point where we realize that we're trying too much to be someone that we can't, and we believe too much that we're someone that we're not. Just because you make mistakes, that does not mean that you're a bad person. It's human nature to mess up, so there's no point in having this doom and gloom mindset about it. We need to accept our limits because nobody is perfect. 2 is a bonus track on the album and is by far the one with the least lyrics. Perhaps only having 2 lines in the whole song is symbolic of the title, which represents the state that Tyler Joseph and Josh Dun found themselves in as a 2-man band. Shortly after Josh Dun joined 21 Pilots in 2011, the 2 original members, Chris Solly and Nick Thomas, left to help support their families. Tyler initially felt like the 2 had given up on him and the band, and he made this song as a way of coping. Despite the underlying bitterness, both Solly and Thomas helped out at local shows, and their friendship still continues to this day. When something bad happens in your life and all hope seems lost, there will be opportunities to turn it around and use it for good. Life has its ups and downs. You'll want to go back to childhood, you'll want to indulge in bad habits, and you might want to give up altogether. But if you continue to keep the good in your life, your community, your purpose, your sweetheart, your inner circle, your beliefs, you'll realize that it wasn't so bad after all, since you had what makes life so good by your side the whole time. Thank you for watching. I hope this video helps you understand the album better and find personal insights. I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourself and pass on the message.